All right, we're going to get started with lesson 2. Today we will learn how all living things inherit their traits from their parents. So let's get started. Oopsie daisy, kind of spoiled that. So you guys are going to take a second to either turn and talk with someone next to you, or the video is going to pause and you can type your answer in. But I want you to answer the question, where do living organisms get their traits from? So, where do all things that are alive, not just a horse, not just a cactus, where do all living things get their traits from? So, their hair color, their eye color, their skin color, um, all those things, where do they come from? Turn and talk to someone next to you and then type your answer in when the video pauses. All right, so here we can see and think about, why does this fowl, which is a baby horse, look similar to its parent, which is the big horse next to it? Why do these saguaro cactus plants look like the parent plant? So, why do both of these things look like their parents? Well, it's because all living organisms get their traits from their parents. So, we get traits that are similar to our mom and our dad. Even if we don't live with them, or they're maybe not with us, we still came from a mom and a dad. So, we have traits from them that were passed on to us. So whether it's our hair color or eye color, similar things that they might have. So here's a short video about where all living things get their traits. It's only about a minute long. I'm going to just take a second and get that pulled up here. It's not going to play in Nearpod, so just let the video keep running here and you'll just watch it here. Okay, hopefully I can do this. All right, hopefully this works.
You observe. What's the color of the fur of this calf?
You're just going to think it aloud. You can think of it in your head.
That's right, it's brown. The mother of this calf also has brown fur. Fur color is one example of a characteristic. Another word for characteristic is trait. This dog, for example, has many different traits. Some of its traits include eye color, fur color and thickness, height, and head shape, to name just a few. All living things, whether they be plants or animals, have many different traits. In some cases, traits are passed on from parents to their children, also called offspring. Heredity is the process of passing on traits from parents to offspring.
Okay, I'm just going to head back to the Smart Notebook. All right, so I hope you were able to get a little bit of a better idea of where traits come from and how heredity works and connects to traits or characteristics. So, did you learn all living organisms inherit traits from their parents? So we have quite a few visual aids here. We have a nice big tree, kind of looks like a Christmas tree, and a seedling here. So this seedling will eventually grow up to look pretty similar to this big tree. We have a mother and daughter here. We have the mother, she's very clearly has red hair, and her daughter also has red hair. So I'm sure that was something you could easily see. The Nearpod is going to pause, and I want you to tell me a trait that you think these little piglets got from their parent pig. So when the video pauses, you can type that in, or you can record yourself telling me what characteristic or trait did these little piglets inherit from their parents. Okay? Inherit means your parents gave you the traits. All animals and plants inherit their traits from their parents. So, just like we learned earlier, this little seedling here will eventually grow up to be a big tree like this if it came from this big tree. These baby cheetahs, I'm pretty sure it's a cheetah, could be a leopard, will eventually grow up to look like its parent right here with all the spots. And you can see that the baby cheetahs even have spots just like its parent. Okay. Both plants and animals, remember, humans are animals too. So both plants and animals all have traits that they inherit from their parents, and humans are animals too. Know this: living things inherit traits from their parents, but there can be slight differences in the traits within the same species. So, even though we might get some traits, there might be differences that not always look exactly the same. So, for example, the thorns of these rose bushes are generally similar, but not exactly like each other. So, we can see thorns on both of these vines, but when the video pauses, I want you to tell me something that you see that's different about at least one of these thorn vines here. Okay, so tell me something that's different. You can pick one picture to write about, but tell me something that's different. Yes, they are all thorns, but what's different about one of these pictures? All right, when living things inherit their traits from their parents, we call it heredity. And we just kind of learned about that in the video. So, for another example, we can see the seedling will grow up to the big tree. The daughter will grow up to look similar to her mom and has similar features to her mom already. Same with the monkeys here. The baby monkey has very similar traits from its parent. Okay, we call that heredity. All living organisms are who they are because they inherit their traits of their parents. Okay, that's just review. Sorry, it's glitching. So this is called heredity. Okay, traits can vary a little bit between parent and offspring, which is why we have individual differences. Okay, so not every trait will look exactly the same, which would be when we call it individual differences. So here's just a little comic. I want you guys to tell me when the video pauses, why is this comic funny? And do you think behavior is inherited? So take a look at the comic here. We see it's either grandmother or it's a mom, and she's sitting here looking at something. She's saying, "Why are you so obnoxious?" And the little either daughter or son or person is saying, "Heredity." So, what does that mean? Why is that so funny? And how does that connect to everything we just learned about? So, when the video pauses, I want you to tell me why this comic is so funny. All right, we have another quick short video here, another minute long. So, I'm just going to play that. Here we go.
Think about some of your basic physical features, such as your eye color, your height, and your hair color. You decide, did you acquire or inherit these traits?
Take a second to type that in. The video will keep playing.
That's right, you inherited these traits from your parents. You can't learn to make your eyes a different color, and you can't acquire the ability to make yourself taller or shorter. Inherited traits are different from acquired traits.
Okay, let's head back. All right. So that is it for today on whatever day, Thursday. You guys will read about inherited traits in your science textbooks, I believe. Yep. So on page 96 to 97 and 98 to 99, you'll read about inherited traits and some more about specific examples. So that's just a quick preview. All right. Thank you guys for listening today. Good luck with your classwork, and I can't wait to see you. I miss you so much.